There was a series of unfortunate events today, and that's all that's all you need to know. So as I get into this run, we're gonna pick Aiko this one. That's the one I picked on the failed one. But I mean, without explaining anything else, I mean, it would be nice to SCE. I did do some homework there, but I mean, it's not gonna help me out the most if things go wrong. So we're gonna pick Ath and get ill-fated, character exclusive, Ath, Aiko. And the character exclusive will help on ill-fated, because maybe you get fast swimmer, but any of Aiko's perks are okay as well. Now, you are guaranteed to fail, so discipline grants you no worth. Oh my goodness, my body. Strength, second, and a burp. Takshi-san, charisma, light, and maybe a dexterity check, but we're pretty much just going to go... No, we're gonna go, we're gonna go illegal then. So we're gonna build into perception. Hey, just speak of the devil, and then, that. Or the old god. Speak of the old god, because we are in need of some good luck here, so controlling it to... And then the only other thing we're gonna do is reroll, obviously, for Coma, because otherwise we can't do the 3 Dream Eater achievements, and not being able to do your mysteries because... Or your achievement because of the mystery combination is, nah, not the most exciting gameplay. Oh, I need to cough. No! Hold on! Yeah, my body. But yeah, all we're looking for is Coma. We're just looking for a red cross on the well, a certain red cross, because Ward also has a red cross as part of its picture. And I just missed it, so we're just gonna wait for the next one. So here's Coma. No Ward, but we do have Sailors, Metamorphosis, Arms, and Nails. So a bunch of boss encounters. I'm gonna force Coma right now, though, because I think the Dream Eater is harder than almost every single guaranteed boss. The only ones I consider it's not harder than are Recluse and Metamorphosis and Flood, as it so happens. Everything else, every other forced boss, even Arms, I think is easier than Coma. I'm thinking of whether or not I want to grab the Thing or Tree, but I think Aiko's plush toy is almost non-negotiable. Now I am going to be using the Army Knife, so Perception is wanted, but not exactly needed, unless I get the... Oh, never mind, we got the Army Knife. Because even with 4 Perception with Aiko's passive, since you might not see it anymore because, well, I increased my Perception, you get to Prep Attack. I can go over the calculations, and I forgot to... I forgot to do the thing. I almost never have that perk. No, I admit, no one really picks that General Perception perk. You don't usually use Perception unless you're Moriko, and even if you are Moriko, you're waiting for Deft Handling. So I've seen... It's not a pitfall, what do you want to call it? A pitfall of playing Moriko. But building into Perception is, on Harbinger at least, in my opinion as well, that, so there are 2 kind of aspects to that, is that you're not building Perception, because by the time you get Deft Handling, you can do just as much what you want, and you would rather take Strength for bracing, usually, but hey. So, and that's the quick little less than 30-second explanation. So as you can see from the Army Knife here, we have, if you do Prep Attack, it costs 97 time units to do both of these actions together, which means even if we had 4 Perception, we would be okay. Now, if we had used Aiko's plush toy and not increased our Perception, sure, but triple attack boost is usually going to serve you well unless you're unlucky, which, in my case, yes, but hey, we'll take out of funds, by the way. We need to do this as well. But is the Force max threat level? I forgot to even do any of that. We do have Metamorphosis, so we might as well set Seaside. We're about to investigate the village here, but that's perfectly fine, as I accidentally set it to the village for a moment. No, you guys need to go to the Seaside. It's more dangerous there, kind of. I think we have at least 3 investigations. But that's perfectly fine. Also, I need to be grinding the forest right now, so here's why. And I wanted to do an Aiko run just to kind of feel the power of encounters. But the flip side of this is I still prefer Toshiaki, because if Toshiaki did not have the book strap, I don't think we have a forest mystery either, so we can't try to do twofers here. But oh, that's right, we're on the ill-fated as well, so we're gonna get super damage here. We're gonna take super damage, but yeah, I would rather take the having more Doom, especially on an ill-fated run where we're guaranteed to just eat damage in the face. Because at least I don't have to worry as much about Doom as I do about other HP, because again, as Toshiaki, you have all that. Doom is like cash in this game. In fact, it's probably more useful than funds, even if we're talking conceptually, because while funds can buy you a lot of good things, and you do want to buy a weapon most of the time, Doom is literally part of your HP. If your funds hit negative, you don't die. And if, I forgot that's right, we can't real faded. Yeah, if your funds hit 0, you don't die, whereas if your Doom hits 100%, and then you hit a check that causes you to lose, then yes. And by checks, I mean, when you start an investigation, again, Doom doesn't kill you immediately at 100%, most of the time. You have to actually commit to an action, which is why you can get some weird infinites going, as I failed to do this and die. We're gonna do a salty run back, by the way. Let's hit quick play just to randomize things. You got that? Roll to 4. Okay. We won't set all perks. Let's grant me that much too. But yeah, I was talking about something important, kind of. Not really. It wasn't important, but it's things that I feel strongly about the game. And yeah, I would normally choose Toshiaki, but World of 4 backstory. I'm going crazy. But you got that as well. So yeah, especially on this run, if you're trying to do a thing, and even for real, I think in real life time, in my opinion, Toshiaki usually saves you time as well, because you have all of that Doom to work with. And while you can 0 stat and die immediately, it's less likely than the amount of Doom you need to spend to run into 3 Dream Eater enemies. That's my opinion. If we're to crunch the numbers. Now, practically, something else might happen. Second, Charisma, Dexterity, Knowledge, Light. I'm seeing something right now, so I'm trying not to speed through the recording, but that is, I have to do stuff as well. But, oh, this is my fault. Recordings, but yeah, more importantly, as you can hear, there's a dog barking, so we gotta take care of something. But it's not serious, it's just a sad dog, but yeah, things. So we're gonna wait for Coma again. But yeah, Toshiaki, I appreciate that when you unlock Toshiaki and you know what you're doing to some extent in Roll of 4, you really see the worth. That was Ward, by the way, not Coma. You really see the worth of Toshiaki, unless you just happen to be unlucky and get Frostbite or double hallucinations or double flashbacks every time, then not much I can say. Also, keep in mind that each reroll I'm doing here can pretty much be an episode. If I did not allow myself to, that's Ward again. Why did I saw a red cross and I got really hopeful. There's Coma. I almost clicked it again, as you saw. Ramen, Teacher, Mermaids, and Ward. We do have both, so we'll do Teacher first, because Aiko can immediately benefit from being able to brace against the Teacher. But to complete the thought, because I keep going on tangents, I appreciate the extra 50% Doom you get as Toshiaki compared to Aiko here. While combat is utterly amazing, unfortunately, if you grind for the forest and you don't see, because you have to run into 2 Dream Eater enemies, and then you have to also fight the boss of Coma, then yeah. Also, we never got the thingy, but that's fine then. The army knife. So if you thinking about it another way, assuming Toshiaki, let's even assume you don't have 10% Doom, so you have 40% Doom extra. That's at least an extra 20 investigations you can do, because I'm dividing that by 2 in case of a max threat level forced and other shenanigans. But yeah, that's 20 extra investigations you have to do, so you don't have to worry about surviving. Of course, this all doesn't really apply, because Harbinger is not a difficulty you're supposed to win on, and you are not expected to unlock everything on Harbinger. But if we're to theorize this out, there's not much more to say about it. That's how it is. Also, what are we doing? We are in Teacher. I got so bamboozled, or I was gonna say like sidewinded, but that was not really a word, because I don't know why we're visiting the village in Teacher. Actually, knocking on the door gets to know that, so we're visiting someone. But hey, I'm gonna insert. Oh, I don't know why I did that. You got that. So the funny thing here is that I can try to do a you got that things, but it's because I'm unlocking an achievement, or trying to unlock an achievement. I don't know if I'm going to be able to, though, without dying, but we'll find out. So yeah, if Yogateg is looking at our main investigation, I guess we'll go to the forest really quickly. But otherwise, we will try to go as far as we can. Coma, I definitely want to take before my 4th mystery. There's just, as I mentioned, I think earlier this video, I even forgot what I just did like 5 minutes ago. I think the boss of Coma is harder than... at least the majority. I said almost all, and then I named off like 3 bosses at the same time. But, well, it does all damage, and then has like, what, 40 plus HP, where you may be expected to unplug a patient, which I can do, but I think you lose reason there as well, so I really don't want to do that. But anywho, I think I'm going to take Ward next as well. I might as well, because I don't want to fight... or run away from the boss. Knowing that I don't have as much Doom to spend because of, well, things, and mainly trying to grind the achievement. But if Doom things happen, Doom things happen. Also, I was thinking about whether or not I should have dodged here. I forgot that I was getting bonus damage because I felt like I did, but I didn't believe in myself, so whoops. But while we're here, yeah, and that's right, we have Ico's Plush Toy. I keep forgetting this interaction. So Ico's Plush Toy lowers damage by 1, but Ico's fast as well, so I can still brace, but I mean, I still going to brace here because it can take badly bleeding, and I don't want that going into ward, even though we have the hospital available. Yeah, I mean, either way, you're taking about 3 Doom, unless you want to try and gamble on a dodge, which I could do, but I don't believe in myself that much, RNG-wise, so yeah, and then the Army Knife would have been great here, but you know what? Quick Thinking's also good, so hey. And away into Ward we go. So Ward, let me see, Ramen, Mermaid, so we can do Mermaids into Ramen for 4th Mysteries 4 and 5. But as for if running into 3 dream enemies, as I remove the sensor, sorry. Yeah, we're gonna see what happens here. So without further ado, yeah, my Doom's already high enough as it is. I mean, part of that was getting the hospital pass, but I did already visit the forest a few times. And you're at minimum, you're probably going to spend about 3 to 4 investigations because that's just how it works. For those who don't know, and I think I've mentioned it before, but if this is your first Jordan MML video, then allow me to explain that once you run into an enemy, so the Bloodsucker is a hospital enemy. Once you run into an enemy in a location, you're almost always not going to run into an enemy within the next 2 investigations. So after finding this Bloodsucker and doing 2 hospital investigations here, which might not apply to Ward because you might visit downtown. Yeah, this is downtown. This is a downtown investigation, so I could run into another enemy here, as you see. But if I were investigating the hospital after the Bloodsucker, I know I'm not going to run into another encounter. And there are some enemies that break this, and I call them generic or general enemies. They apply. So if you think of a TRPG or table RPG, so each location is a deck of cards that you draw, and each card that you draw can be an event or an enemy. Consider general enemies like another off deck of cards that the game master, in this case the game here, can throw in whenever it feels like. For example, the best example I can use off the top of my head is the glitched magician enemy, who appears if you are playing on Ath. I think primarily on an Ath. I think somewhere I read that there's another god that can introduce that, but I don't think that's true. So, but that's what I mean by so once you draw a card, so say in this case, if we're using the TRPG analogy here, then if the game master, as I do the handcuffs really quickly here, if the game master draws an enemy card for everyone to fight, and then they draw another enemy card, they're probably just going to put that away and then draw an event card. In the game's case, you have to run into 2 events that are not enemies before you can fight another enemy. Hence why I said 3 to 4 investigations minimum. But it does help to have mysteries that take you into the forest. Unfortunately, this run has no mysteries that take me into the forest, so I have to do it myself. And I might as well do it on Mystery 3, so I'm not taking extra damage. But, again, that depends on whether or not I run into those 2 enemies specifically. Running shoes, you know what? Running shoes. Because as my Doom increases and, we do have to survive... Well, again, let's say it outright right here. You don't have to survive the run once you unlock an achievement, but that's the limitation I'm putting in place when I'm doing this. So, therefore, when I fight this Dream Salesman here, I fight the... I forgot what it's called, because I used to call it something else, and I realized I was not using a good word, kind of, I think. Yeah. We have to survive the run. That's the limitation I'm placing on myself. I should have just done that. I don't know why I didn't. I made a mistake, so I'm taking extra damage for no reason, and I'm going crazy. So, yeah, we should rest here for all intents and purposes, but we have 2 spells to forget, so you know what? I shouldn't have done this, by the way. But you know what? Worked out. You know why it worked out? Because I should be able to hit both of these. Well, not guaranteed, but 65%? 75%? Let's go. 75%! Yeah! Now, that's not always going to happen that way, but we can hope. I do have to visit the village as well. If I don't, I can't see the 3rd dream enemy anyway. So let's find out what happens to our face. Yogateg is looking at us. I forgot to check Yogateg. That's on me. What are we doing? Village, hospital, or mansion? Let's do these while we're here. Because I don't know, right? I might as well get some progress done. while I am going through. So hospital, forest, or village, so downtown. And we'll do our best, but yeah, this is why I like Toshiaki instead, because we'd be at about 41% Doom right now, but effectively we'd be at 11%, 11% Doom. And that is a lot more comfortable than 61% in the middle of Coma, my third mystery, but the important part is that we need to fight 3 dream enemies, and you have more Doom to spend for investigations when you're playing Toshiaki. That's all I'm trying to say. So we're just gonna basically grind this forest until we can run into the next Dream Eater enemy, unless this happens to us. And now we do need to rest, otherwise we die, straight up. And let's see what happens. Thankfully we're not on Goizo, yeah, we're on Ath, so... Or you got that. I'm going crazy, but hey. Basically you toss you're at the mercy of RNG, so... Effectively, let's just put this in perspective, by the way. Effectively, being able to unlock achievements without dying, I think is a good quality of life thing, because that would be a bit frustrating for people. People are already frustrated enough trying to do certain achievements, or see certain events, but really, if you're trying to 100% a game, we're looking at achievements here. Yeah, there's less frustration trying to unlock achievements, because you don't need to survive. We're just gonna go, because we don't have enough Doom to spend anymore. And yeah, why didn't I not even try to roll on that? But yeah, we just have to check this forest, and we died for it because RNG. So, unless anyone wants to give me some advice, because I really didn't think about trying to set things up. I mean, okay, listen, last 15 seconds of the video here, let me just say that if it gets to that point, I'm gonna use a custom character, but we're gonna try to slowly turn the dials on putting things in my favor. And if I die with full throttle cheats on, then I'm really bad. I mean, I know I'm bad, but hey, I guess I'll see you in the next video. I'll see you later.